Welcome everybody out to Michigan International Speedway. Finally out here back in Michigan once again. We just had a crazy Pro Series race a couple nights ago. Now it is time for the Premier Series race, and we're going to be going over the starting lineup of the race. And wouldn't you know it, here at home, look who is on pole. Brett Pritchard and the white number 44. He'll be starting next to Deacon Jones, Eugene, and lead us away for row number 2.
We have Jay Langelier in the 9-5 third bank Ford, starting the inside of Sammy Cobb in the Loves Ford.
Arthur Xavier starts next to Daniel Quinones, the number 16 out of Reckless Racing.
And then we have Brandon Crasta in the 63 for Procrastination, starting the inside of Jacob McMillan for Western Auto Racing.
Nick Fountain in the number 39 for Supreme Motorsport starts to the inside of the number 33, Makoto Kino, to round out your top 10.
And starting in the 11th place, we have Jeff Gannon for Mir Toyota Racing, or for now, I guess now Mir Gazoo Racing. The MGR Toyota starts the inside of David Walsh for Walsh Enterprises.
Then it's Dakota Cottle running by himself, owner-driver operation DK Motorsports. Caitlin Mir with Meyer Kazoo Racing.
Now we have the 17 of Zachary McAdoo in the Mac Attack Motorcraft Ford for Reckless Racing, starts the inside of Andrew Weisbecker, the other Supreme Motorsports Toyota.
Then we get down to Rebel Racing's Kenny Van Bura in the number 82. He starts side by side with Greg Graziano at Douglas Motorsports.
Then we have Austin Yoakum out of iReal Motorsports. He'll be starting the inside of Quinn Izzo for TXS Racing.
And then Team Motorsports' owner starting 21st. That's Joseph Onesto, car number 62. Starts to the inside of, now running as a car owner venture for Chronic Understeer Motorsports. It's Ryan DeLusso in his number 2 Ford.
And they'll start ahead of row number 12, which sees Timmy Weathers to the inside in the 55 Toyota. Starting next to a former teammate in Tim Salmon.
And then it's Justin Osborne and the number 79 Mir Gazoo once again out of that organization. He starts next to Rob McPherson, car number 78.
Then we have Aaron Douglas in the 97 Western Auto Racing Toyota, starts the inside of his brother's protege, Eugene Hawk.
Then it's Chris Davis in number 06 for Davis Motorsports. And Dylan Touchton, hometown team, iReal Motorsports. He starts P30.
And then in row number 16, we have Connor Meir in the 29 Mir Gazoo Racing, owner-operator for that machine. Starts the inside of Lizzie Wesley for Procrastination.
And then it's going to be Noed Patworry for Reckless Racing, your defending champion. He starts side by side with John Cittadino, number 72 out of Team Motorsports.
We have Dylan Young, who's had a struggling season trying to get back on the right foot. That's for Western Auto Racing. Starts the inside of Brad Hughes for Tom Brad Development.
You know, Tom Brad Development has had a pretty good run into this race, with Tom Jones actually being the fastest in practice. I wouldn't be surprised to see what they bring into the race this time. They were talking about bringing in better cars the past couple weekends, and it looks like that is starting to have some fruition with it. So not too bad for them. And that leads us into Mariah Douglas and P37 with her Ford number 83 starts next to one of her best friends, Andy Bewley, in the 84.
Then we have Marissa Miranda for Fox Racing, starting 39th to the inside of Elias Nassar for Noon Racing.
Tom Jones, number 46, he was fastest in practice, suffered in qualifying though. He qualified 41st. Is next to Travis Dawson out of Noon Racing. That is another local team. And running out the field, Brad Smith in the number 30 car, which leaves us with the Binotto Sport number 75 of Joshua Lockhart. And coming out of California, Rob Kreider out of Double Nickel 9. He will be going home as well today. Take care of that real quick, because they got to make sure that those cars, after they do get the parade laps, of course, they'll be heading in. And of course, with this being here at Michigan, there we go. This is the Fishin Michigan 200 presented by the Pure Michigan Recreation, the hometown of Noon Racing and IRM. They love this massive 2-mile D-shaped super speedway. This is the remaining of the two tracks. The Auto Club sister track, of course, was demolished a couple years ago. With Connor Muir won the Pro Series race, and he told me that he has the broom sitting in the truck ready to go if he is ready to sweep the weekend. Track temperature is at 85 degrees. It is a nice cooler 67 degrees out here, partly cloudy with high winds, so that could be seeing unstable rear ends. So here in Brooklyn, Michigan, it is about time what we see the race get underway as Rob Kreider and the others have pulled back in, and we have a nice view of the field here. Let's get some early picks in. I have a really good feeling, and for no particular reason, it's all on the vibes for me today. I'm going with Brandon Crasta, car number 63, the Rush Truck Center's Chevrolet. That is going to be my pick for the race. What about you, Brett? What you got? I haven't said hi to you yet in the booth. What's going on, Brett?
He's been strong all season. I'm going to pick Nick Fountain, sitting there in 9th place.
Not too far behind him. There he is, the DirecTV Toyota Camry. Not a bad pick. He's had some really strong couple races. I would not be surprised. What do you got, Adam?
Depending on how pit strategy goes, we may be seeing some car from the middle of the pack come up front late in the race. But for now, early picks going to go with the pole sitter, number 44.
You're going with the pole sitter. All right, Brett Pritchard up here for iReal. I would not be surprised.
44 cars on a raft of momentum, coming off the win last week.
Getting word from the FARCA officials, we've been given the 2 to go signal, 2 to go, before we can get going racing, and with them crossing the line there, it should mean that this will be 1 to go. They might call it off because for some reason we have a rogue AI. Mr. Lockhart, instead of pulling down, has decided to go through the middle. So if he doesn't figure that out, we'll call it off to let him get all the way through. Looks like that may have to be the case. I'm not sure what he's doing. So with how the Pro Series race went, okay, let's talk about that. We had a huge battle between Adam and Connor. And
yeah, the point system is just a little bit tighter now. It's down to 15 points between the two of them. 3 wins apiece.
He's going to sit here and wait for these last 3 rows, isn't he?
Wait, we're not going green. Repeat, no green.
And they've had to call it because of it. And of course, right after that, he then decides to go. So he will not be going green thanks to Lockhart. He is finally cleared by. He did not want to pull off the racetrack.
We'll leave it to someone out of the Onesto camp.
I mean, it's close to their home. Illinois isn't too far. So we're back out here again.
As I say, IRM and Noon are both about an hour out of the track. So they could have drove the cars if they really wanted to.
Alright, so while they get that sorted and figured out, go through and talk about a couple of drivers up here. This has been a pretty good qualifying for Jay Langelier in the 5th, third number 9-4. Not too bad, not too shabby for this beautiful new paint scheme that he's been running since last week. I just want to get that attention out to him. And how about the number 2 out here on the outside lane? He's running for Revolutions Pro Motorsports to start the season out. And now he's out here in his own car. The Chronic Understeer Motorsports. Juicy himself has got his own car. CSX has jumped on
Look
board.
who's on the inside of him. Onesto is up here in the top 20 starting. So
They did say they were bringing a brand new car, and I think that's going to be helping them out massively. Who else out here isn't normally up here but having a good time? A pretty good qualifying for Jacob as well. He's been going under the radar a lot this season. Some rumors circulate that he may not be returning for next season.
Well, and then you got drivers, especially this like one big group between 28th and 32nd. I mean, those are all front runners.
Yeah, there's a lot of drivers back there that had normally been up front. Aaron had a pretty poor qualifying, as well as Eugene Hawk. Connor, points leader, qualified 32nd. Some bad qualifying. So we'll see how that goes for them. All right. It is time.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag is underway. Brett Pritchard leads us to the stripe, and we are racing here in Michigan.
Jay Langelier is going to be able to get second away from Deacon Jones. Not quite the power to get a run on Brett down the back straight.
Ooh, some almost contact, or if some contact between Deacon Jones and Sammy Cobb there.
We have a wreck in the
Oh,
back.
he got an accident.
Eugene Hawk
Oh,
has gotten into Trenton McPherson, and John Cittadino also involved. Tow truck coming out for the 40 car. Heavy damage. Let's see if we can figure out what happened here. We're starting with heavy damage to that number 40 car.
I think I saw some damage on the 2 car as well.
It looks like we started off with some 3-wide racing. That is Ryan DeLuso's number 2 car. Get a better camera angle on this and see what went wrong. Looks like Eugene went 3-wide in the corner, and Ryan did not know he was there. I'm trying to see what happened with Rob in here. That is unfortunate for them. But what happened with Cittadino?
He was just.
Was that just counting it?
got-
Yep, that was just counting as he had ran into the back there. Doesn't look like the 78 or the 72 had much damage, but Rob has brought this thing down onto pit road, and he is coming back out now.
I think they came down just to make sure that nothing was pushed in.
Yeah, it looks like it was just fuel and a slight check there. Total of even 4 seconds in the box. But they are doing extensive repairs to that number 2 of Ryan DeLusso, and the number 40 is behind the wall. Not the way that they wanted to start it out. Eugene Hawk pretty high up in points, and in fact, for the first time, we can even show that to you guys live. So check this out, and you can see where they were. Eugene Hawk going into this race had 116 points. He was involved in this accident, and the number 2, Ryan DeLusso, I believe he's just a little bit further down.
Yeah, I believe he's...
There he is, 20th in points. He was 90 going into this thing, so that's going to be hurting him. As it leads, Brett Pritchard at the time of the caution. And it looks like Deacon was able to be just ahead. When that yellow came out, he did dive into the corner to try and get ahead of Jay.
Yep, top 3 unchanged.
Quinones has gone up 2 positions since the drop of the green flag. He'll be now restarting on the outside behind Deacon Jones. Sammy Cobb behind. Lost a couple spots. Pretty much has just traded off with Quinones. Biggest mover despite that very short restart there. How about that? Marissa Miranda, 10 spots. Tom Jones, 11. Brad Smith, 12. So quite the shuffle there towards the back of the pack. Aaron lost 5.
Those couple drivers that are up double digits were all on the inside when that was going on, so they were able to just power through turn 1s and 2.
So basically a whole shuffle between the 20s and the 30s is what occurred. All right, now we wait for the pace car to bring us back around, and we can get this thing going in. All right, pace car brings it down, and we wait for the flagman to wait the green flag and Pritchard decide when he wants to go in that Geico restart zone. Hometown Hero leads the race. Lap 5 out of 100. "10 miles in out of the 200-mile track." Already had some 3 wide issues going way up the racetrack there. That was Quinones. There's that 3 wide towards the back. That's Austin Yoakum there hanging on the outside. And he's going to back out of that and avoid having any incident, it looks like. Just driving absolutely in the marbles. We'll see that lane come in as they're going to try and maybe go 3 wide again. No, maybe not. McMillan ringing around the outside has picked up quite a few positions. Getting around Sammy Cobb.
Dan's really trying to work in the high lane.
Yeah, he has been way up on that outside lane. We saw that being used in the Pro Series.
And his teammates just behind him, just not able to get any drive off the corners.
McMillan has the fastest lap of the race so far as a now complete lap 6. And now that'll go to Deacon Jones, who just did a 38.71. And Marissa Miranda, who's now up 17 positions, just did a 38.61. The 32 is Holland.
Yep, there is a whole lot of cars right in front of her.
On board with the mess we have back here.
Connor's starting to split the middle.
And speaking of Connor, absolutely hauling through the center. He's picked up 15 spots since the drop of the green flag. He's now in the top 20.
And I think Deacon Jones is going around the outside.
Working with Pritchard. He's actually working
inside.
the inside. Pritchard was moving up using that outside. So the Fords trying the outside lane. And Revolutions for Motorsport will take the lead. It is a Chevy, a Ford, and a Toyota as your top three. As don't forget, Jacob McMillan out of Western Auto Racing is racing up here at the front as well. Then followed by 3 Fords of Reckless Racing and Nexus. Brett Pritchard trying to work the inside the same way he got past. He's trying to get it done back on him to the inside. Here comes McMillan. We might have a 3-car battle for the lead now.
McMillan was able to draft a crazy amount up onto the back of these two.
You can hear just how wound up these cars are. They are going to be running this track practically like it's a super speedway. Like it's a plate track, I should say in better terms. This is a super speedway. And now McMillan looks to the inside of Brett Pritchard. The Toyota trying to get their first lap led of the race. But he gets pulled back. The air taken off the spoiler by Deacon Jones.
And here comes Dan.
We got a 4-car battle going for the lead here. And maybe make it a 5-car. Here comes Sammy Cobb.
You know, there's another car that's been up front the last couple of races, and Brandon Crashway, he's right there as well. And these top 7 are all within, 0.7 of a second of each other.
That was very close at the line. Deacon Jones did lead that lap over Brett Pritchard. Now ringing the outside. The 2 Fords from Reckless and Nexus, and it is turning into a pack race up here at the front. Tons of cars coming into the picture. McMillan trying to put the pressure to Deacon Jones. Looks to his inside. Deacon needs to not only pay attention to the 12, but here comes the blue and white Ford out of Reckless Racing as well. He maintains the lap lead this time by. Adam, what's the strategy for Revolutions today with how the race went for them yesterday? Oh, there's almost contact there for the lead.
I think there was some minor contact there between the 12 and the 28.
That would have been disastrous. Of course, I keep to talk to the racing owner, and they nearly gets one of his cars taken out. 3 wide going in for second. Dan looking to the inside, thinks better of it. But here comes Sammy Cobb. He will make it 3 wide out of turn 4. Brett Pritchard on the outside. Quinones backs out of it. McMillan trying to once again look for the inside. Krasta goes way to the top of the racetrack. Here comes Connor Meir with Jeff Cannon.
Yeah, Connor is on a move. He is up 26 spots at the moment.
The Iced Tea Lemonade Ghost Energy Toyota is absolutely hauling. Sammy Cobb has got a huge pack of cars behind as Deacon Jones gets about 4/10 ahead out. That outside lane starting to come in. Couple rows of 3 wide.
Lusso is back out on track.
Check out the 41 with Timmy Weathers and Zach McAdoo. McAdoo backs out of it. Weathers goes way up to the wall, and so is Brett Pritchard running way up high. They're trying to get that lane going for him. Costa, where did he come from? He took the lead right from out from underneath their noses. I don't even know if McMillan led a lap there. He's going to try to this time now on the bottom.
Yeah, top 10, top 15 is all kinds of.
Big wiggle there from the 28. Krasta leads again. Langelier keeping the 29 honest, right up against the wall. The 81 tries to drive it hard in the corner on the outside. I think the Toyotas run a little bit better up high than the Fords do. They keep trying it, but I don't see them making the type of progress that the Toyotas are up there. It hasn't been prevalent as to who really has a dominant car yet. The farthest we've seen a car separate themselves from the pack was a half a second. That was Deacon Jones, who's actually in 6th right now. But Krass is being currently tailed by McMillan and then everybody else behind. 3 wide to the center. That was Arthur Xavier. Welcome him to the top 5. Douglas Motorsports to Chevrolet. He's now in 3rd. This is kind of like running like a plate track with the amount of changing of positions and shuffling that we've had.
Yeah, there's a ton of shuffling going on. I mean, near the back of the pack, cars are kind of settled out, but I would say 20 on where it's all been shuffled. Ooh, it looked like there was some contact up there with Weisbecker.
Rice going 3 wide as well currently right now with Makoto Kino and Nick Fountain. I saw that contact there, 87-77. Touching quarter panels and fenders coming out of turn number 4. Kenny Bambura starting to move up. Three wide coming out of 2. Nose to tail on corner entry there. 79, 41, and 44 all had a train basically going on. As McMillan trying to get his first lap led, he does it at the line. Now trying to battle with Krasta. These two have separated themselves from the pack by about 1.5 seconds. They're racing hard for the race lead. McMillan unable to complete the pass till now, and he's got it. New race leader, Jacob McMillan.
So we did have a couple
half dozen cars pitted.
Yeah.
Yes, we have Jeff Cannon, David Walsh, and Timmy Weathers all on pit road. That's an interesting move. That's pretty early. Back up at the front. It's still these two, and then a couple seconds back, it's Deacon Jones. He's battling with Arthur Xavier and Sammy Cobb. Langelier joins the party. Osborne pits.
Yeah, I don't know if pitting on your own is a good idea with this track, though.
That 55 car you saw, he is off cycle right now. He has pitted. We're getting official word from Eugene Hawk's team. Revolutions for Motorsports have withdrawn the 40. He will not be coming back out onto the racetrack. They're taking that thing home.
You think Eugene Hawk will go ahead, crack open a beer on the pit road like Adam always did?
I think he's down there with a keg right now to get over this one. I'm not sure about pitting that early. But here comes Connor Meir. Second car out of the MGR crew has come down.
Again, just like last week, all these short pits have all been Toyota.
Once again, what is going on with them? And the 12's hanging down. I think we're going to start to see McMillan. And yes, I believe, yes. Okay, so
Yep.
they will be halfway down on the backstretch. That'll be the indication. That is so early for all of these Toyotas.
We saw the same thing happen to him last week at a completely different style track. Oh, we have a crash in the back.
That we do, and it's going to be a big one.
Yellow flag is out.
Focusing in here on the number 97 car. Oh, and it's Kenny Bambura, and the field just kind of stacks in. Lizzie Wesley, Aaron's involved. The 27 of Greg Graziano's involved, and up and over, and on the side of its lid. That's going to be a big one. '97 gets rolling again. Brings it to a stop. Struggling to get that car going. Some suspension damage there to the 97. And there we go.
Looks like the steering wheel might have came off. Had to put it back on.
Oh, that's the issue. Track bar disconnected. Wow. That you do not want to see that. And once again, championship implications, because not only did we have issues with Eugene, that's P2 in points right there. Car number 97. That'll hurt him. That will hurt him. Everyone else coming down to pit. The rest of the whole field behind, all coming down to pit. Krasta, your current race leader. We'll see what they end up doing. And that will benefit the cars that pitted during the green flag cycle, because that means the Amir Toyota group will cycle into a 1-2-3 lead here. Or they're going to be coming into them right as it. So Cannon will have the lead. Because they were still racing around. They weren't lapped. We'll see where we are here in a second. There'll be a couple waiver rounds that'll happen. See where we're at now that cycles are completing. Wait for them to cross the start finish line and for any of those updates, and then we'll send anyone else around that will need it. A couple cars stuck on pit road from their major damage. I think actually the only car sitting on pit road is going to be the 97. Reporting from the garage, Lizzie Wesley is down in here. They're trying to figure out how much suspension damage they have. Andy Bewley, she's on pit road. They're getting trying to get a whole new front clip put on that car. Same for Marissa Miranda.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the 97 go back to the pits or go back to the garage and assess the damage a little bit more.
They are working on the right rear quarter panel of Dylan Touchton's car. Kenny Mumbura is in the garage. Zach McAdoo is in the garage. So the only car getting a wave round is Ryan DeLusso. So once the 2 waves around, that will be it. We can go back to racing. All right, and that will take care of us having a halfway break. As we've now had, actually we've had 2 cautions naturally this race. We had the lap 3 incident, which involved Eugene Hawk and Ryan DeLusso. And then the huge stack up on the backstretch with Kenny Bambura's car that took out teammate and a few others. Got the 1 to go signal here. Ryan's making his way here on the inside, waving around. Couple more cars to pass, and he will be up here at the front. Officially, after everything was settled out, your race leader is Jeff Cannon. And then it's Arthur Xavier, Andrew Weisbecker, Noah Patworry, Brandon Crasta, Mariah Douglas. Then it's Justin Osborne, Deacon Jones, Jay Langelier, and Connor Meir is your current top 10.
About half of the top 10 started without outside the top 10, so we've already seen a huge flop in this field.
Getting cloudy covering up the racetrack over here at 3 and 4. That's going to allow the track temperature to cool down. Might change the way the race is going to be running. All right, up to Jeff Cannon now, race leader. I believe number 4 or 5 so far of the race. For him to take the green flag. Back out in the air, lap 29 out of 100 for the Fishin, Michigan 200.
Oh, some contact already between Weisbecker and Xavier. I don't know what that was about, but Weisbecker just doored.
He's going to go 3 wide here with Noah Patworry, defending champion, and Justin Osborne. They kept it clean. Crasta trying to retake the lead, but Cannon now also looking to the outside. Weisbecker making that car 3 lanes wide. Can't defend it from Cannon. He will retake the race lead with Noah Patworry behind and leads the lap.
Here comes Justin Osborne, trying to fix his reign of bad luck.
Another MGR car trying to get back up to the front. Hasn't had the greatest season for himself, but trying to turn that around. That's Justin Osborne in the number 79. Got the Hardee's Love 79 this weekend. Not much to there for new leader with Noah Patworry now looking to catch up on the outside. That is the Castro Oil number 26 Ford. And caution is out. Caution is out. Issue in the back. That's Caitlin Meir, John Cittadino. Heavy damage.
Murphy Wesley looks like she got a small piece of it, so more damage to the front of that car.
Dakota Cottom also hearing has been involved. Brad Smith behind there. That's that pink car right behind. See if we can figure out what went wrong. Ooh, there's going to be the easiest tell to tell there. 3 wide. That's the number 15 of Quinn Izzo. The number 19 pink and yellow car to the outside. That's Western Auto Racing's Dylan Young. And it looks like they're going to run out of room going 3 wide. And that's going to be the issue. And then gets rear-ended again and hit by the 5. And rear-ended.
Oh.
Caitlin just went for a bad time ride.
That's going to be a lot of damage to the 92.
That's an unfortunate wreck to be in, and heavy, just heavy damage to Dakota Cottle as well. They're going to be on pit road for a while to get that thing repaired. The number 5 McDonald's Hendrick Cars Camaro with extensive damage. Graziano's machine, not too bad. Lizzie Wesley, see the hood flapping around in 36. They're going to have to come down and get the pins put back on. Look at that. Whole front end just annihilated.
Looks like it's trying to take off like a Boeing 747.
Heavy damage to all the cars involved here. Here's Dylan Young, who was on the outside. Not the worst damage, but they will have to get that fixed. Later at the time of the caution, that's Justin Osborne. That is Noah Patwary, Jeff Cannon, Jaylan Jalier, Brandon Crasta, team owner of the car that was just involved. Jacob McMillan, Ryan Douglas up 30 spots. Andrew Weisbecker, Deacon Jones, and Connor Meir in 10th. Third caution at 34 laps. We're averaging a caution basically every 10 laps.
So, somehow, the 97 car, they managed to get the rear end of that car fixed and get him back on the track so he doesn't lose too many points.
And let's see what we got. Timmy Weathers is going to be getting waved around. Greg Graziano, he'll be waved around. Brad Smith as well, which is crazy. They are just involved in the wreck. Caitlin Meir, they have unfortunately had to take that car behind the wall. That car is getting some extensive repairs done. Dylan Young, after some repairs done in the pits, he'll be getting waved around. He will be 1 lap down. Andy Bewley, she's back out. She will be 2 laps down. Lizzie Wesley is still on pit road. They're trying to get that thing fixed. Currently 5 laps down. Nick Fountain, who started up towards the front, was involved in an earlier accident. He will now be 5 laps down. Makoto Kino will be 6 laps down. Ryan DeLusso will be 7 laps down. Aaron will be 7 laps down. Same lap as Ryan DeLusso. And Marissa Miranda, unfortunately, this next time by will be 10 laps down, which means she'll be falling out of wave around eligibility. Actually, no, they are bringing that car out of pit road just in time. She will be 8 laps down. What a save by the pit crew to get that car fixed up in time.
Yeah, they knew they were on the edge of getting out of that wave around area, so
There
car
comes
might
out.
not be perfect, but they're expecting more crashes at this point, and we'll go to fix the car.
This doesn't look too bad either. Not bad at all for the O'Reilly Auto Parts 32. Coming back out. How about this? Regular season champion from 2024 leading the point. Logging some laps led thanks to the caution. Nice to see Osborne back up here.
Yeah, we haven't really seen him up at all this season, so it's... Our MGR team has spread their good cars out throughout the team instead of just having Connor.
Yeah, if they can feel out their fuel economy issues or whatever they're doing in terms of pit strategy,
Yeah,
it
Toyota needs to figure out what's going on there.
it worked for them last week, but I'm not sure about this one. It's such a huge track, but um,
I mean, it's worked for Osborne so far. I wouldn't say it's really worked for. I mean, yeah, there's
it's
a
worked for
couple others.
Cannon as well. Like, I mean, Cannon's up. Well, I guess he started in the top 10, or sorry, just outside the top 10, but he's up. He's up like 6 spots, so he's doing okay.
I mean, Connor drove his way up front, so it can't really say it helped him. The Fords have indeed fallen off a little bit right now, but
All of them but Pat Worry, who is actually Pat Worry and Langelier, the two reckless Fords. Don't count out Sammy Cobb either. What you're seeing on screen now is cars finishing up the wave rounds. The last one to do it is going to be the number 32, waiting on Marissa Miranda. She's working her way through the field. And then we'll be going back and we'll be racing once again.
We're not going green. Repeat, no green.
It's too early for me to even really pick a car or have such an early prediction. I'm not sure who it would be. Once again, the Toyota's got me stumped with strategy. It makes me feel nervous to even consider one of them. I really like the way Langelier's been driving.
yeah, I don't know if having a pick right now is the best thing, just because I mean we've seen 3 pretty big crashes throughout the field, and then cars drop way off, pick way back up. I mean, they've been everywhere.
Alrighty, I think everything is getting sorted out here. There we go. This means after they cross the line here, it'll be lights on the pace car out. I have the sleepiest cat next to me in the booth.
I had one as well, but she went and laid down.
Ready to go racing again. All right, here we go. Justin Osborne leads us away. Back underway. Lap 39 out of 100. It's an MGR 1-2 as they take the green, and they force Noah Patway up to the top of the racetrack. 2 Reckless Racing cars up there.
Yeah, those MGR cars do not want to let any of those Fords get a chance.
Trying to do the best to hold it off. Lizzie Wesley returns back to the racetrack. The Procrastination 36 that was involved in the accident is back out and racing once again. Osborne gets a pretty good restart here, getting about a half a second out. As Noed and more Toyotas behind start the battle. And I saw that twitch there from Deacon Jones. Good handle of the race car. Keeping it from wrecking 3 wide, multiple lanes back.
Yeah, they are 3 almost pushing it 4 wide.
Heads into the corner. That looks like they keep it clean. There's your 4 wide. That was Sammy Cobb, Daniel Quinones, Austin Yoakum, and I believe one other. They did not wreck. How did they not wreck?
That car was sideways.
Some insane driving from the 51. That was Tim Salmon, who was dead sideways off the corner, but kept it going forward out of TXS Racing. Fastest lap of the race was just turned by Noah Patway, the number 26 Ford, right behind Brandon Crassus, where he currently sits.
So both Osborne and Crassus just ran their fastest lap of the races as well.
Everyone absolutely hauling up here towards the front of the field. We haven't had much time to check in on too many cars, but I do want to check in on a driver who is so far struggling on the lead lap with the least amount of positions, or most amount of position loss, and we got to talk about it because he is your pole sitter and absolutely struggling back here is Brett Pritchard. IRM, both of their cars actually back here running at the bottom of the top 20, kind of struggling.
I think he actually got some slight damage in the second accident, and then it's just trying to rebound from there.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case because he is right around there with Tim Salmon's machine. But I think we're starting to see the field really shift now that the sun has set. Not set, but is covered by clouds.
We've seen 5-6 cars each lap set their fastest lap, so.
Yeah, track's starting to get faster and faster. Fastest car that time by was Jacob McMillan out of Western Auto with a 38.29. That was the fastest lap turned for lap 43. They're starting to run down, and Cresta has caught the race leader, goes to the outside of the number 79 Toyota, and will take the race lead from the outside, but I'll get him off the corner here.
Going to allow Noah to get there as well.
A Chevy, Ford, and Toyota all in battle for the race lead. It's a good hold towards the inside here. Here comes Jeff Cannon, car number 81. Oh, and he just got put into the wall by his teammate. That's an aggressive defense. That was the fastest lap of the race by Jeff Cannon that time by, too.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be very happy when he gets back to 79.
Don't think so either. And he's already there to the back bumper. Now looks to the inside. Gets blocked again.
Osborne drives him down to the bottom.
What is going on with these two teammates? They're on the alternate strategy. They were the first cars to pit. I don't know if it's just frustration here, but wow. And this is allowing Noah to maintain a nice little comfy lead since he's taking it away from the 79. McMillan trying to come back into the picture here. I think Osborne just wants this race win more than anything. Doesn't want more competition. He is starting to get to the back bumper of the 26.
Driving his teammate like how he's driving his teammate isn't going to help that.
No, it is not. Looks to the inside here, trying to retake the race lead, and he'll do it with ease on the inside of Michigan 1 and 2. Your race leader is once again Justin Osborne. Pat Wary trying to make it back again on the inside here. The Reckless Racing 26. Nick Fountain, or sorry, Jeff Cannon right there behind him.
Gonna try the outside again.
No, Ed's now got 3 Toyotas in his mirrors because here comes Jacob McMillan. The War number 12 right behind with the 2 MGR Toyotas.
I say Noah does not have another Ford to help him until 8th, which is Mariah. So
that's
is
crazy.
a very good run out of the 83.
Brett must have heard me talking smack about him. He's up to 11th now. He's about to break back into the top 10. He can get around Arthur Xavier. Crafts trying to spoil the Toyota party.
It's because a lot of cars have been crashed and lapped down, but Tom Jones and Brad Hughes are sitting 24th and 25th right now.
What?
As Connor's coming down pit lane, so here comes the Toyotas.
All right, once again, Toyota's starting to pit early. It worked well with a timely caution last time. Will it work for him again? Team owner will be the first one down. That's Connor Meir in the number 29. Meanwhile, race leader, his teammate, 2024 regular season champion. We'll see if we start to see more Toyotas come down as well. We are halfway into the race. No halfway yellow.
Here comes McMillan and Cannon, so 2 more Toyotas.
These were the other 2 runners that were competing against Pat Wary with Osborne. So they both brought it down. 2 Alliance teams right here sitting nose to tail.
Which means we should be seeing Osborne and Weisberger probably come down in the next couple laps.
See, here's the interesting thing about this. Connor did not go a lap down from where he pitted in. So if there is a caution, that's it. He cycles straight to the race lead, and that's just probably what they're gambling on again. Brad Smith has also come down. This is all Toyota strategy yet again. Krasa trying to take the opportunity here. That is for position.
Yeah, they're coming down, but some of these cars are still running their fastest lap of the race.
Yeah, it's...
Just ran his fastest lap of the race at the end of the run.
Yeah, he did, and so did Chris Davis.
So that's, and those are 2 non-Toyotas.
2 different yeah, about to point that out as well. 2 different manufacturers.
And here comes Osborne.
The next Toyota is in, and so is David Wall. This is all Toyota. It's an all Toyota party. All right, so what are they banking on?
These Toyotas have tried some weird strategies these last couple races now.
Hand
That
out
leaves
the window
one.
for Andrew Weisbecker. He'll be coming down this time as well. I assume we'll
Which
see
he
the
will be.
same from Quinn Ezo as well, which would mean all Toyotas would have pitted
I was
early.
gonna say, that will be all. Those are the last 2 Toyotas to pit.
Andrew
Yep.
Weisbecker officially in, and here it comes. So all Toyotas are running the alternate strategy. We got manufacturer games going on. Connor, crucially, that's a big pass for Noah Patwari, putting him a lap down. Noed and Krasta absolutely hauling Brett Pritchard up to third. That is the damage still untouched in there on the outside. He'd been involved in an earlier accident. That IRM car going a lap down.
Osborne, McMillan, and Cannon have all stayed on the lead lap as of now.
That is interesting. Isa will go a lap down. This puts Tom Jones and Brad Hughes into 15th and 16th.
I want to look back at 18th and 19th, and Dawson and Nassar as well.
Local cars out of Noon Racing.
Side, but they've kept it clean, so
that might just be all they need.
now we're seeing the lap down Toyotas make their pit stops as Dylan Young and Aaron Douglas have made theirs. Toyotas.
Spread out, and that is Noah Patwari, Brandon Krasta, and McPherson. They all separated basically about a second away from each other. 2 Douglas Motorsports cars have appeared in the top 5 as Trenton McPherson and the Pennzoil 78 and his teammate Arthur Xavier in the Camping World 87. We got some 3 wide behind. Pritchard and a few others all scrambling here. Latch cars and lead lap cars.
You know, I would understand this Toyota strategy if they were fast. But they're coming off pit road, and they're running just as slow as the car is on old tires.
Yeah, the fall off from General Tire told us it wasn't going to be big. Oh, Timmy, what is going on there? Weather's in the 55. Yeah, he did. What's going on there? He already pitted before. See, this was a drive-through penalty. Nick Fountain has found his pit box. If it's 10 seconds, then it was a stop-and-go penalty, but we'll find out here in a second if that is 10 even or just after 10. Nope. That was the service. I'm not sure what is going on. Failed to get the lug nuts tight is what I'm hearing for the Nick Fountain crew. They did not get the right sides tight, and there was a vibration. They had to bring the car back down.
This goes on to my... I mean, Connors, yes, got his lap back. But Arthur Xavier just ran his fastest lap. So we are still seeing cars put down their faster laps.
There's... The never-ending shuffle of this race has really caught me off guard.
But you're talking about fastest lap. Connor, who just ran his fastest lap of the race. And he's going on almost a lap, you know, getting ready to get passed again as he almost tags the wall, if not does.
Yeah, and there's a whole Toyota gang right here, and it's like they're trying to do
MGR
something.
Gang.
Well,
I mean, you got all
MGR plus Weisbecker, yeah. I'm very confused.
Yeah, I mean, and Noah just put 3 of those cars lap down and going on the 4th of the group, so.
And actually, I wonder when the rest of the field wants to pit.
It's been almost a 5 lap Almost
Check
10
out
lap
who's in fifth.
difference.
It's
They can
Joseph
go to the
Ernesto.
end. They pitted on lap 25. They can go to the end
I don't
on
think
fuel.
that's the case. No,
They
on
can
field
make
they
the end on
can't.
fuel.
No,
It's
because
about
Toyota's
60
been very
laps. They
poised.
got 25 plus caution laps, and there was more
Oh,
accidents
that's
afterwards.
true.
So that's really odd hearing that and seeing what these Toyotas are doing.
Well, I think the Toyotas have royally screwed the pooch for the race then.
Yeah, because that's their second green flag pit stops.
Yeah, they didn't come down with that last set of cautions, which they could have on any of them, but they opted not to. So,
Which means Toyotas might have to pit one more time.
um, that would be really unfortunate for them. I think you're right.
I mean, that's every, what, 30-ish laps that Toyotas have came
They
down
pitted that early, yeah.
with, 3 different cautions. We've seen all these other cars come down just under the yellow flag.
Well, it is a really, really good race to be a Chevy or a Toyota, or sorry, a Chevy or a Ford then.
Which, funny enough, we're in Michigan.
What does that mean when we go to Kentucky next week? It's going to be an all Toyota top 10?
Possibly. Wouldn't that be very fitting?
Oh, that
mean,
would be wild.
Look at this, yeah, top 10 has a bunch of people that are normally in this top 10, but look at this, 15th through, 20th right now that we have.
Yeah, that is crazy. It is Tom Jones, John Citadino, Brad Hughes, Travis Dawson, Elias Nassar, and Jacob McMillan. Which, that's the highest Toyota.
I was going to say, the highest Toyota.
And he's currently still struggling to get around it. He just had a huge bobble in the center of the corner, on the back corner of Elias Nassar, the rookie.
Between McMillan and Brad Smith, the last Toyota that's not...
There's one Ford.
There is one Ford, which has prior damage.
Yes, and I think just hit the wall as we cut the camera to him as well.
Probably. That might
Touch
be a home track, but...
Touch is not having a very good year.
No, it's not. I mean, he's doing decent in points. He's,
Look at
he
this.
does not-
Look at this. That's your race leader going 3-4 wide with Toyotas.
and a couple lap down cars, but...
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. 3 wide behind. Couple mixed for position, most not for position.
Yeah. Toyotas are starting to pass a couple cars as they get around the new racing cars. But Noah is still running in mid 38s when he's on his own. As he's coming down the road,
Oh
never mind.
boy.
Here we go.
All right, the first of the non-Toyotas to pit under the green flag cycle, Noah Patway out of Reckless Racing, is going to be the first to take us away. Dylan Touchton is also down here on pit road as well. That means Brandon Crasta assumes the race lead. Here we go.
Looks like he's getting ready to come down pit road.
Yep, multiple cars have their hands out the window. They're bringing it down this time by. So what does this do for the Toyotas? Is this now going to play out in their favor?
Yeah, but how much of their cars did they use up trying to, stay on the lead lap?
That's going to be the big question mark. It's Crasta, McPherson, Mariah Douglas, Greg Graziano. They are all on pit road now. Joseph Ernesto gets his first lap lead of the season. He's got Langelier, Quinones, Pritchard, Xavier, and Sammy Cobb all behind. And I assume we're going to start seeing more of them come down pit road. Brad Hughes is now on pit road as well as Tom Jones. The Tom Brad development cars leaving their pit box.
And yes, it looks like everybody.
Nesto and Moore, Pritchard on pit road with Arthur Xavier. A little bit of a stack up on pit road entry here. Austin Yoakum also out of IRM. He's on pit road with his ignition speed 4.
Cars that have not pit, so.
My question is, Pat Worry did come out ahead of the Toyotas by about 2.5 seconds.
But has fresh tires.
Correct. And is definitely good to go to the end, even with Toyota's window. Here comes Langelier straight out. Here comes Deacon Jones, Sammy Cobb, and Daniel Quinones. Langelier has stayed out. He's the last car that has not pitted. He last pitted on lap 25.
I mean, will we see this help Toyotas for the,
I don't
be in the
know.
top 10 for the time being?
I don't think it is with how everything has gone. I think they
Or are
would
they
need a
gonna
yellow.
Stretch this last bit of fuel out.
Yeah, they definitely need yellows if they want to stay in contention, which has all but just handed this race to Reckless Racing. Jay Langelier finally comes down pit road. He gave up the race lead for this. He's led multiple times so far tonight. Gets some more laps logged in his book for the race. As Noah Patwari leads over a huge group of Toyotas, but they are on a different strategy. So I'm not sure how it's going to go. The lone breakup in the top 10, besides the 2 front-running Fords, is Trenton McPherson in that number 78 car. He's trying to work up to the back bumper of Connor Mears' car. As there goes Langelier getting passed by the field. We'll see where he cycles out. I'm just not sure how this is going to go. So the current top 5, unless things change, is Jeff Cannon, Justin Osborne, Tim Salmon, and Connor Meir. That's your top 5. Then it's Trenton McPherson, Jacob McMillan, Andrew Weisbecker, Brandon Krasta, and Jay Langelier. That is where he cycled out. That is your top 10. And so we can see it here. There's your manufacturers as they currently sit for your top 20. We can see how that will potentially shuffle as the race goes on. But it's a 4-second lead for Noah Patwari over the other fellow Toyotas.
Have nothing to do to catch him.
Heading into the final quarter of the race this time through. Gannon and Salmon trying to move around Osborne. Saw some beef between Salmon and Justin earlier. Think they're going to chill out there with their team owner right behind them. Lizzie Wesley just pitted. Damaged car from earlier on, involved in a couple accidents. The NGR cars are really strong. It's just, I don't know what is going to become of this race for the Toyotas. I don't think they pitted. I don't think they waited long enough to pit to make it to the end, at least for how they've been running. I know these cars have a smaller fuel tank than the Pro Series cars, but like, Why is it like this?
And if it's anything like that has been, I mean, next 5-10 laps, they'll be coming down.
I think so. I would say I would agree more on the 10 lap side. I think it's going to be cutting it closer than it not. They really need a yellow, but I don't see that's going to happen. The field's pretty spread out right now. There hasn't been a lot of 3-wide action all the way down.
Connor was the first one to come down in that second run, so it's kind of have to just see where.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes. 39 cars still out on the racetrack. We have had 4 cars DNF this race. 1 Chevy, 1 Toyota, 2 Fords. All involved in accidents. 26 cars on the lead lap. Last car on the lead lap is Brad Smith, one of the fellow Toyotas. And Noah Patwary at the point. Coming to 22 to go this next time by. And it's a barrage of strategy between the Toyotas, the Fords, and the Chevrolets. Mainly figuring out as to what the Toyotas are doing. On pace, Joseph Ernesto is almost back into the top 10. He could be looking at a solid top 5 if the Toyotas can't make it.
Yeah. Which we know.
Speak of the devil. Here they come.
Oh, yep. Here comes McMillan, Connor, Cannon.
MGR.
Roughly in that window I was predicting.
Yep. Look at that sun starting to come down. Beating on these cars.
The rest of the Chevys and Fords can make it.
Yeah, oh yeah, they can, without a doubt. Even if they were doing this window of what the Camrys are doing, like, they'd be fine. I don't know why Toyota pitted so soon.
Yep, here comes Brad Smith is coming down. Osborne. And you just saw Connor go a lap down.
And that will pretty much do it in for the Toyotas. They can get waved around, but that's...
They're going to need a caution.
Or 2.
And it's still... Or 2. And it's still going to put them at the back of the field.
Yep. So that
Which
puts
would
us...
also allow the rest of the cars to get fresh tires.
We got a Reckless Racing 1-2. Then it's Noah Patwary and Jay Langelier. Then it's going to be Trenton and Brendan Crasta as Tim Salmon, Quinn Izzo. They all come in. So yes, that'll put Ernesto inherently in the 5th position when Weisbecker pits. They for sure cannot make it. Then it'll be Sammy Cobb and Deacon Jones. Arthur Xavier and Daniel Quinones. That'll put Pritchard into the top 10 as well. Actually, he just got passed there by Chris Davis. The Kohler 06. Weisbecker brings it down.
That makes David Walsh the last Toyota to bring it down.
All right, inside 20 to go for the Fishin Michigan 200 now. Last remaining Toyota to not pit is David Walsh, and then the cars that were laps down. Hearing that Walsh will be pitting this time for the Circle K 56. There it goes. Trenton has found his way around Jay Langelier in the 9, but he's got a long way to go if he wants to try and get this race win. Noah Patwary has a 5-second lead. Langelier kind of impatient there behind the number 69. Lap traffic is what's causing all this. This Aaron Douglas damaged lap car pits. involved in one of the earlier accidents.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna have anything for Noah with almost a 6-second lead.
I don't think they will either.
I mean, Noah's gonna have to catch lap traffic and possibly like get the wall or something crazy to happen.
Crassus rejoined the battle up here. Two Chevys fighting with the Ford. Two Toyotas almost just took themselves out. That was Quinn Ezo and Jacob McMillan almost getting into each other right in front of some of our leaders. Rob's really good at managing the traffic, but man, it's just so much time to make up. This will be a really good finish for him. It's been a while since he has had a pair of really good top fives. One of the star drivers out of Royal Purple rebranded to one of the former identities for this year and switched to Chevrolet since Dodge left the sport once again. And as they're battling, they continue to lose even more time to defending champion Noah Patwary.
Who's getting ready to put car position 19 and 18 lap down.
Noah's sitting towards the bottom of the top 20 in points for this season, and he's had a kind of a really up and down year. He's got an average finish of 24th. However, he's already got a win when he won the race at Bristol. He won the Expo Markers 400K, the third race of the season. But it's really up and down. He's either getting top fives or finishing at the middle or back of the pack. He even crashed out at Sonoma and finished dead last. So he's already at a DNF of the season as well. Makes it hard to defend your championship with the season going like this.
Well, that's just FARCA in general. You never really have a good season after winning a championship.
Only driver to ever repeat a championship was Brett Pritchard. And that was 2015 and 2016. No other driver has done it since their inaugural. Sorry, correction, it was 14 and 15. Buddy Dean Smith was our 2016 champion.
And that was 10 years ago.
And we're getting ready to crown our 10th champion this season. And I have no clue who it's going to be or who will even be leading the points after this race. Because our top 3 in points our top 4 in points were all Toyotas. But with the races that they're having right now, I'm sure, I was going to say Deacon Jones will have a good race here, but where is Deacon Jones? He's 11th right now.
I think Connor Mir will still have the points, but it's not going to be as big as it is
It's
now.
going to get scrunched up pretty badly after this one.
You know who's going to have a good points day on?
Daniel
by the look of it?
Quinones and Sammy Cobb.
No, I was looking at the car that's 9th in points, Brett Pritchard. He's running in 7th. He's
That's
got
true.
that late run speed.
Currently running in the 7th spot behind another Ford. That is the Elite 77 of Sammy Cobb. 11 to go. It's a 6-second lead for Noah Patwary. 10 to go now. And inside 10 to go means no wave arounds. So
There
if there's
goes Toyota's strategy.
yeah, right up the window. Any chance of a caution? Not going to help him out.
Nope. It'll allow the rest of these guys to come in and get fresh tires, though, for the last 10 laps.
How about who is in 15th right now and 16th? It's Tom, Brad Development. Brad and Tom running 15th and 16th respectively, coming into 10 laps to go here. This is going to be a huge race for these two Fords. As they're racing around each other. Hard, but probably having tons of fun. Both of these two got to be ecstatic behind the wheel. Cresta racing around here, still with these three shuffling positions as they get around the lap traffic.
Honestly, I don't think these three really left each other since they've got around each other.
And Noah really started 33rd. What a huge flip-flop. What are the Toyotas doing? You can tell they are not happy. They resorted to arguing amongst themselves.
Yeah.
The leader just pitted. No red Pat where he's on pit road with 5 laps to go, 4 laps to go.
Oh.
And it's a splash in fuel. Fuel strategy is suddenly an issue.
Did he not save any bit of it? Or
4 to go. You could have saved that much. He definitely wasn't. He was out there 6 seconds in the lead.
Yeah.
I mean, that just changed the game. Do we have enough?
Who will have enough?
Well, Rob McPherson now leads with Brandon Crasta suddenly 2 tenths, and what was looking like a lull into the race suddenly just got entered in massively. A Toyota has just come back down. Timmy Weathers, a lap traffic is in. Crasta blocking in the back there, gets a lap traffic. Langelier is in second. Trenton looks like he's to the good. Coming to 2 to go. I am surprised they didn't get enough fuel in the 26 car. Reckless Racing may have just fumbled an easy victory for their defending champion.
Yeah. I think the rest of the top whoever is good to go. Unless they're having to come down this lap coming to the white.
Well, it'll be white flag this time by, as you said. And here's Langelier trying to pick up the pieces that was left by Reckless Racing. Can Jay get a return back to victory lane, or will it be Trenton? This top 4, let alone this top 5, hasn't seen victory lane yet this year. Who's going to get it? Langelier to the outside, down the back straightaway. Trenton's running on fumes. They're reporting he has switched to the secondary tank. He may not have enough to even get back to the stripe. Crasta's under a second. They're wiggling the 78 car. Langelier out of turn 4 with a fuel strategy win. Will win over Nohead, his reckless teammate, and wins in Michigan. Jay Langelier, the brother of the now late Benjamin Thomas, gets his victory. His first win since Rockingham in 2019. And it'll be here at Michigan and the Ford. Second place, Trenton McPherson. That's Brandon Crasta and Joseph Anesto finishing 4th. Sammy Cobb gets a top 5. Deacon Jones 6th. Xavier 7th. Chris Davis 8th. Brett Pritchard 9th. And Daniel Quinones finishes 10th.
Highest placing Toyota was 17th with Justin Osborne.
This did not go the way I thought it would. At all. With anything.
Brad Hughes with the top 15. Tom Jones 16th. Big finishes for those two. That was something.
All right, and bear with me on this. Let's see. I'm gonna actually I can verify this before it is put up on the screen. And it looks like things may have worked correctly. Looks like things did. All right, so for the first time ever, and this is quite the race to show it at, here is your unofficial points. Connor Muir still has the points lead. That is not correct. That said it transmitted. Oh, there we go. And here it is now. Connor Muir is still your points leader. He has 190 points. Deacon Jones shot up 3 points positions and is now second in points with Andrew Weisbecker right behind. He's 1 point over Austin Yoakum. Sammy Cobb also shooting up 3 positions into 5th now. Aaron loses 4 positions, and so did Nick Fountain and Eugene Hawk. Eugene had that DNF involved in an earlier accident. And that is your unofficial points now after the race that we are able to do. I am so glad we have this feature now.
Yes.
And a driver, I am curious about how well they will be. Where is
Ernesto?
this? I was going to look at the 7.
Oh. The
Brad
7 is
Hughes
Wolfberg.
did not increase his position in the point standings. Tom Jones, surprisingly, actually fell a position. That was because Mariah had a good finish. Don't forget she had a penalty early in the season, so that good finish there brought her up. Where is the 62? There he is, up 4 spots. Joseph Anesto, after that strong top 5 finish, is now up to 36 in points.
Jay jumped up 6 spots in points, sitting in 12th.
How about that, Jay? And with that win, I know it's quite a ways out, but as far as the chase picture looks, that puts Jay inside. And here's how he did it. For the race lead, a very important one. Ben riding on the passenger side. Would be very proud and happy for his brother getting his first win of the season. And keeping Reckless Racing in victory lane. And that will finish us off here. Next weekend, we'll leave the state of Michigan and head over to Kentucky. We'll be on the 1.5 mile oval. There'll be more racing there. Next weekend, we will see you guys then.